Tonight on the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror.
Don't go out in the woods tonight, you probably will be thrilled. Don't go out in the woods tonight, you probably will be killed. There's a friendly beast who lurks about and likes to feast. You won't get out without being killed and chopped up in little pieces.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror! Rah! Cuts, guts, and sluts. Tonight, we are going back to beating that dead horse of a genre called slasher. Because, let's face it, it's so fun. It's my favorite. It's my favorite, really. Slasher, then giallo, which makes sense because, you know, they're kind of related in ways. But anyways, and tonight's movie is a spectacularly, awesomely cheesy, low-budget 80s slasher called Don't Go in the Woods Alone. Even though most of the people in this movie didn't go into the woods alone. They were with friends and other people, like relatives, and yeah. So I don't get it. I guess, well, maybe the first victim and I guess the second victim probably were alone, but I think most everyone else was pretty much not alone. Yeah. Anyways, so what is this movie about? Well, it sort of centers around a group of four hikers who are out in the wilderness to camp and head to this cabin. And at the same time, something is going around murdering people. Yeah. And it just so happens that it's just started like right now, as opposed to been going on for years and years and years. And perhaps maybe people would have been more wary about going to these woods. But no, today is the day this shit starts to go down. So anyways, as people are getting murked by this mysterious entity, these four unfortunate souls get caught up in the rampage and must struggle to survive. Throw in some very incompetent and maybe even criminally negligent police work, and you've got yourselves a movie. So let's get to those scores, shall we? Violence and gore, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. It's bloody. There's some arm maneuver, or I say disarming. There's some disarmament. But mostly it's a lot of stabbing and a lot of blood, and some of it is kind of off-screen, though there is this wonderful bear trap scene that happens to this poor fisherman. Oh my goodness. And yeah, it's bloody. The gore effects are okayly done, but most of it is just the sheer amount. It's got a high body count, and there is quite a bit of blood, and a very spray amount. They definitely threw some cups of blood all over the place here, and yeah. So 4 out of 5. Moving on to shock value, I'm giving this a 1 out of 5. Yeah, not very shocking at all. Not a lot of jump scares. The fact that the soundtrack is rather, I don't want to say poorly done, but just done in such a way that it sort of adds to the hilarity and detracts from the actual scariness of the movie. So, yeah, 1 out of 5. I do like the fact that you kind of don't know what's doing the killing until about a good portion of the movie, and then it's just kind of like, okay, well, that's what we're dealing with now. Anyways, so there you go, 1 out of 5. Plot, 2 out of 5. I mean, it's like I said, like in the beginning, it's like just so happens that the murders just start now, as what would seem would be that the murders would have been an ongoing thing for decades, considering the rest of the movie, but, you know, whatever. we can't have that because people wouldn't have gone out into the woods, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so it just seems for some reason, bam, it just starts happening. You get a lot of wasted time, it feels like, with the whole sort of police search party plot that goes into this movie. There's this guy in a wheelchair that's done for like comedic effect, and it's just kind of sad, and just everything overall feels a bit of a mess. And kind of is, but I mean, I do appreciate low budget horror and people, realizing their dream of making a movie, because I would love to be in that position to make a movie and have it published and end up on Blu-ray for millions upon millions of people to enjoy or mock or laugh at, but still in a way people know what I've made and it's made a lasting impression. So yeah, I mean, but the plot, yeah, it's really thin. 2 out of 5. Acting, 1 out of 5. Oh, man. Oh, we have a contender for Nightmare Weekend's crown of really bad acting. And it's getting there, but I mean, part of the charm of the movie is the bad acting, though, and especially the Mr. Know-It-All survivalist, man. I just, wonderfully cheesy, but yeah, it's not good. 1 out of 5. Moving on to Nudity, and this is probably the most disappointing aspect of this movie because you almost have it all for a cheesy 80s slasher, except for the nudity, even though they have the women in the movie. There's a scene where people are frolicking in a waterfall, and I don't know if the tops can come off during that, right? I mean, you have a scene where people are swimming in the river, and yeah, sure, she's wearing a white shirt, but you never really get any, wet t-shirt moments. But, the shirt could have came off. They could have went skinny dipping. I don't know. We have a scene where there's a couple in I think it's a VW bus, and they were about to get intimate, and they don't. You have campers out there, male, female campers. What are you going to do in the middle of the night? Sleep? Anyways. I mean, God, it's one of the hallmarks of 80s slashers is that, you sell the movie because of the bloody gore and the boobies. Anyways, 0 out of 5. 0 out of 5. Sad face. Anyways, moving on to enjoyment factor. I am going to give this a 3 out of 5 because I really enjoyed watching the movie, especially watching it with other people so that we can share in wow, this acting, wow, what's going on here, wow, this special effect. I mean, it's one of those so bad it's good in a way. It's not good. But it's enjoyable. And honestly, that's probably more important than a movie that's good but is horribly unenjoyable. Because, I'm going to watch this more times than that good movie that's not enjoyable. That's the case. Anyways, 3 out of 5. My overall impression is 2 out of 5. It is below average when it comes to slasher movies, especially low-budget slasher movies in this day and era. Or not this day, in their day, in their era. It is underwhelming in that fact. I mean, it's got a lot of gore, a lot of blood, a lot of stuff does happen off screen, and you get the, hey, there's a, something, we'll just throw some blood on it, and it's like, see, like, blood's happening, right? But yeah, overall, it just doesn't have what it takes to stand up against other slasher fare. So 2 out of 5. I mean, it's not. It does things that are good, and it does a lot of things that are bad. Entertaining, yes, but overall 2 out of 5, and that averages out to a 1.9 out of 5. See, if you would have thrown just a single pair of tits, you would have gotten to 2. You would have gotten to 2, which is sort of the baseline. Usually, the average score, if it's under 2, your movie is gonna be like, you know, maybe I'm not gonna watch this. I'm not gonna invest the time. Anyway, but I think if you like slashers, you like cheesy movies, you like to have fun watching movies, I think it's definitely worth a watch on a streaming service, worth to buy, collectors, people like me. Anyways, so there you have it. Don't go in the woods alone. Ugh. So tell me what you think about this review. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree, all that good stuff, YouTube nonsense, yada. And thanks once again for joining me for another episode of the 31 Nights of Halloween Horror. And remember, internet, always stay scary and don't go in the woods alone or in groups also, because let's just face it, the woods are scary and filled with things that want to kill you, most likely. Because that's what I've learned from watching movies all these years. It's not like I've ever really gone into the woods. I mean, I have gone into the woods, but I haven't really, like, gone into the woods. I think I've only maybe been camping, like, 2 or 3 times in my life. And anyways, I don't know. Just remember, oh yeah, and by the way, like, you know, this implies decapitation. No, nope. I mean, it's accurate to kind of accurate to what happens in the movie. Like this scene, like without the knife there, sort of is there, but yeah, implied decapitation. Just a dick move. That's a dick move. You got my hopes up, and you know how much I love a decapitation, especially multiple ones. Anyways.